Hello, everybody. So, today I wanted to have a chat with you about something that's coming up for me right now. So, I am doing, and I say something that's coming up for me right now, that's not kind of the whole purpose of it. The purpose of this discussion is it's something that I see time and time and time and time and time again. It's like a human need, a human desire. And literally with every single coaching client that I work with, the majority of other people I work with in other ways, this is something that really comes up for us. And I wanted to just chat through it with you today. So I have titled this one Finding Your Authentic Self versus Fitting In. And as I say, it kind of highlighted to me recently because I'm doing some work with a coach and I've been looking at my strengths. Now, as I was going through my strengths and then I was kind of relating them back to my core values, there were so many things that came up that I was like, oh my gosh, this ties into this and this ties into that. And what I mean by that is when I was younger, for example, and maybe you were the same, I used to look at my horoscope. Okay, so I'm a Pisces, and I would think, oh my gosh, I'm so Pisces. And I would look at my horoscope and even like compatibility with partners. I would check out, okay, what horoscope are they? What star sign are they? Do we match? Will we survive? These are all these things that you kind of look at as a teenager. And then, as you know, in the past few years, I've been looking more into human design and Gretchen Rubin's Four Tendencies work. And what else have we been looking at? Yeah, the Clifton strengths, core values, doshas, archetypes, all these different things. And what I've discovered is there are so many elements of these things, especially when I did human design, where we're like, that makes sense. And Louise Howard, who introduced me for my first human design reading, she's incredible. Go check her out. It's like when you're going through it, it was almost like giving you permission to be yourself. And this is why I wanted to talk about this authentic self versus fitting in, because as human beings, it's like so contradictory. We crave being part of something. And, long ago, we would have had to fit in to be part of the tribe, to be, from actual survival, we would have had to fit in. And we all crave that being part of something. But that's often really misunderstood in that in order for us to be part of the tribe, to be part of the community, to fit in, that we have to change. We all have to be the same. So we lose elements of ourself, of our individuality. And, you can see this a lot as teenagers, as you're beginning to find yourself and you want to fit in and, you're doing things that you might not normally do, or wearing things, or, saying things, hanging out with certain people. And, there's this real core intrinsic human desire to be part of community. Now, the work that I do, working with people and working with coaching clients, is a lot of kind of undoing of conditioning, undoing of this fitting in, this undoing of trying to be the same as everyone else, trying to, fit into this box when actually we're all individuals. Every single human being is an individual. So for us to try and be like someone else, it's never going to work. And then this is where I see a lot of anxiety and stress develop, whereby we are trying to be like someone or trying to do something like someone else, and it's not working. And we feel anxious and stuck and confused. Like, why can't I just be like them? When actually you'll never be like them. And in the attempt to try and be like someone else or to try and fit in, you actually put yourself under more stress and more anxiety. So the journey really is about acceptance, accepting who we are. And, a lot of these kind of tests, I guess, or, pigeonholing yourselves via human design or star sign or whatever it is, that gives us that sense of fitting in, but also of individuality. And I was listening to a really great podcast the other day, and it was about human design, but they shared this fantastic analogy about humans and how humans are part of nature and how nature really requires biodiversity, not just one sole plant or animal. So if nature was just one thing, then we would all be dead. Yeah. Like if the same thing, it was just like one thing, one plant or one human, type of human, we would actually, we wouldn't exist. So it's really imperative that we embrace our individuality. And I was speaking about this very thing yesterday, actually, with a friend of mine who's studying psychology, and she's looking at social bias and things. And it's crazy, isn't it? How we form all these beliefs about ourselves, how we think we should behave certain ways. And so many of us, it's on a real subconscious level, that feeling of not fitting in, that feeling of feeling isolated or being different. And, there definitely is something to be said for community connection, but in a space where you are celebrated for being yourself, for bringing your own energy, for bringing your own stuff to the party. Yeah, we need people who are going to be focused and analytical. We need the dreamers. We need the creators. We need those that are going to follow through on things. We need, people who are going to just like want to do the work, come in and do the work. And it's recognizing what part, where do you play? What part do you play in the community? And celebrating that and honoring that. And I guess this is where it comes down to your strengths as well, and celebrating your strengths instead of really focusing on our weaknesses and trying to change ourselves. Yeah. It's about focusing on our strengths and celebrating our authenticity. So my kind of musings on this topic are, as human beings, we want to fit in, but there is also part of us that really deeply wants to get to know ourselves better. And more and more and more of us are seeking that, like are recognizing, okay, maybe I'm being myself at home, but maybe I'm not being myself at work, or maybe I'm being myself at work and I'm not being myself at home, or, I'm different when I'm with that person and with that person. So begin to just have a little look at that. What would it be like? And I spoke about this with a client last week, to actually show up as yourself in every single situation. Like, how liberating would that feel to, not to have to change, to just be you in any kind of circumstance, whether that would be at work or at home or out on a night out or, with a new group of people. How liberating would that be? So you maybe can't go 100% there right now, and that's okay. But what I would ask you to do is just celebrate yourself. Be you. And, if you need support with that, if you feel that you're struggling, if you feel that you don't fit in. And as I say, I do a lot of this kind of work with my coaching clients where it's almost like giving permission to people to be themselves, to recognize how magnificent each and every individual is. So just thinking on my feet here as I'm recording this podcast, but I would love if you could grab a pen and a bit of paper and just write down some of the things that are kind of different about you. And I want you to celebrate them and think about, okay, how can I bring more of that? So whether you're the dreamer, I'm saying that because I am like quite a dreamer and I get quite excited about things like that, then why not share that part of you? You know, I spent a lot of time, and I guess in my past probably was trying to fit in, follow certain personas, you know, different roles that I worked in, trying to fit into certain organizations when actually they just weren't for me. And that can make you feel so uncomfortable and awkward. And in my case, anxious and stressed and depressed. But when you unpick it, when you love yourself as you are, when you celebrate your authenticity, then that is where absolute pure magic can happen. So I would love for you just to go away today, think about that, think about how you can celebrate your authentic self, how you can show up more fully as the person that you are, not the person that you're trying to be, and know that everyone is different. Every single person is different. And, you know, fitting in isn't about being the same. Fitting in is about just people accepting you for who you are. And it's so beautiful to watch that transformation in the people that I work with when they recognize how incredible they are and show up as themselves. Like, your life will change. So I hope that that supports you today. I am absolutely here. If you need anything at all, go celebrate being you. And I will look forward to connecting with you soon, either on podcast or on video. Take care.